Amy knew Crises very well, so Amy gave me.
So Amy gave you a lot of information. Julia. That name's familiar. I think my brother knows Julia. Babs, no. Mark, I knew. Michael, that's my brother. And there's me. No, I don't know that priest.
Now this is Marcia's family.
Didn't know any of her family.
I'm in touch with them.
Good.
This is just information that I have. And you wouldn't know Lieutenant Fahey, I'm sure.
No.
Then there's some more names here. Emilio Guerrero.
Six priests. Though that name is that is a familiar name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They had contacted him or somebody like about a permit.
Okay. In touch with. I don't know.
Chelsea, we know Chelsea.
You know Chelsea. Okay, is Chelsea in Transgender House in Brooklyn where Sylvia lives?
I don't know where Chelsea lives, but there's a group that meets here called Metro Gender, and that's where I met Chelsea.
Okay.
It's through the center here.
I'm sure Sylvia knows Chelsea.
Mama, no. Daniel, Marcus, no.
A couple more names.
No, Augusto, Marge, Shirley, Ned, Margot. No, sorry.
Okay, great, that's great. All right. I'll just start with asking you a few questions.
Yeah.
About your background, where you're from.
Okay, I'm from New York. Born here in New York.
All right. And you got involved with Hot Peaches through your brother? He was already in the group?
Yeah, he was in the group.
Okay.
And they were doing a show, Amy, that was I think one of the last shows Amy did with them.
Okay.
This was 92 that he, became really involved with them. And they were in London doing a show.
Okay.
And,
I think that might have been the show that Marcia went to London on?
Yes.
Okay. All right, good, because Amy told me about that.
I can't remember the name of it, but I went to see the show, and I went basically because the airfare was real cheap. The Gulf War had just broke out.
Oh, right, and nobody wanted to fly.
And nobody wanted to fly. And so I said, oh, perfect. So I got a couple of days off and jumped on a plane and went to, spend like a week there in London. And, saw the show and hung out with the group. And Jimmy and I started talking. And, he found me a relatively interesting person, I guess. And when he wrote his next show, there was a part for me in it. And that's how I got in the group.
Were you singing? What were you doing?
I was basically an actress. I never really considered myself a singer, and when I found out it was a musical, I said, well, darling, we've had just one problem here. I don't sing. And so both Michael and Jimmy said, oh, don't worry about it. They said, remember Rex Harrison made musical after musical and he never sang a note. So they said, you've got attitude.
And that's what they were looking for?
And that's what they were looking for. So that's...
And your brother had been in the group for a while before then?
That was at least the second show he had done with
That he had done, okay. All right, good. And did you spend time with Marcia at all during the time you were over there?
Yeah, that when we were over there, I was talking to Michael. I was saying, I don't know. I'm trying to remember, London with Marsha. And by the time I got there had been adventures that had already happened. But the most that we both kind of remembered was he said, well, one of the things Marsha did was got into the Queen's garden, was picking her flowers. I'm not quite sure how Marsha got into the Queen's garden, how the hell she was picking her flowers, but yes, that was what she did. Then there was another time that she was there and almost got hit by a bus. But it's easy to do that in London because
you look the wrong way.
Everything's going the wrong way. And what else did I hear that Marsha had done? But Marsha, there was one more incident that he had remembered. Oh dear, you'll lose me now. But the thing was, Marsha was just such a free spirit, moving around London that it was. She attracted a lot of attention. Yeah,
Did she enjoy attracting the attention?
I think so. Though she may have been unaware of the attention that she attracted. I don't think Marsha, she was almost otherworldly. She just kind of moved through things, and there would be everything crashing behind her. And Marsha, like a little tugboat, just kept moving along with her head up.
That's great.
But just such a, but there was just such a rare, innocent quality about Marsha.
So this was really shortly before she died that...
No, relatively, I guess. That was, like I said, that was 92, that winter.
Okay, she died in July.
She died the next year because, let's see, when Marsha died, we got the news on July 11th. By this time, Amy was out of the group. I was in the group. We were doing a whole nother show at this point. The show that Marsha had gone to Europe with the group on, that was past. Jimmy, that winter, spring, sat down and wrote something new. This was called Christopher Street Columbus. That was
I've seen that mentioned, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I played Ermin Devine. And we left New York. We did it at PS 122. That's the last time I saw Marsha, was at PS 122.
Okay, so this is after you went to London
to see the Marsha show.
Right, and then you came back, and then later on you saw her.
Right.
She just came to visit the group or to see the show? Or?
She would come to rehearsals, she would come see the show, because even though she wasn't in Christopher Street Columbus, she was still around and part of the atmosphere, I guess. And so when we were doing that 122, Marsha came around and she gave my brother, she gave him this wonderful gown, beautiful gown, and then she gave a scarf.
Yes, tell me about the scarf.
This little funny looking scarf, a triangle, a little blue triangle with little balls of, look like pom-poms hanging off the ends of it, and nothing really matches on the scarf, but it's still just so delightful.
Is it something that she found, or do you think she put it together?
No, I think it looks like it was bought that way.
Okay.
And she gave me this beautiful designer suit. Marsha had a way of finding clothes and getting clothes. Maybe she, did thrift shops and stuff. But she found this wonderful designer suit. And I took the jacket with me because it was, had this beautiful embroidery on it. So she brought this to 122 one evening. It wasn't our last performance there before we left, but nearly the last performance. And she just wanted us to, these were just things, and she said, you can use this, you can use this. So she gave it, she gave us her present, and she liked the show. She really did. She thought it was good. And that was the last time I saw Marsha. It was on July 11th. I'm not sure what day she actually died, but we found out on
first week of July. They don't know exactly what happened. Were you in Germany with your brother at the time?
We were in Hamburg, staying in a brothel. Yes, Hamburg.
And who told you? Someone called from New York?
Yeah, someone called. Someone called from New York. Yeah. Michael was devastated. I mean, we were all devastated, but Michael was just wiped. And pretty much for the rest of the trip, he, would dedicate songs to Marsha.
So when they had the memorial service in New York, you guys were all in London? In Europe at the time? Okay, all right. Because I have a videotape of the memorial service.
Oh, you do?
And there were several hundred people there. I mean, the church was full.
Wow, I bet, yeah. I see that you have Crises name down. Did you know that there was a film made?
Yes, I've seen it.
You've
Split.
Seen it? Split.
Yes, I've seen the film. Yes.
You have seen it. Yeah, I've never seen it, but I did have the name and the number of the person who did it.
Oh, the director, writer-director. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
you can get it at a video store.
Oh, you can?
Yeah. And it's relatively short. I think it's about an hour, maybe an hour and 20 minutes. But yes, I did see that.
Did see it.
Because Amy Coleman was very close to Crises.
To Crises.
They spent a lot of time together over the years, so Amy told me all about her.
Great.
Actually, Amy has a website.
Does she?
If you're on the internet, put in Amy Coleman, and you'll get a website, and she has all sorts of pictures from Hot Peaches and everything. So try to go in there. She has a tribute to Marsha and a tribute to Crises. So if you're on the internet, just put Amy's name in and you can find it.
Yeah. I'm glad to hear she's doing that. A lot of people, when I got in the group and was in Europe, few people would come and ask, where's Amy?
No, okay.
Yeah, so.
And she's still performing. She was performing the Chicago Blues. It's over on 8th Avenue by 14th Street in July.
So good.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Yeah.
She's told me a lot of very good stories. Did Marsha ever talk to you about, well, first of all, Star, the group that she started?
No. I didn't know the political side of
you didn't? Okay. Nothing about Stonewall, her experience at Stonewall?
She never talked about that. I only really became politicized in 95.
Okay.
I danced through life. The Cindy Lauper video, Girls Just Want to Have Fun. That was me.
Okay, so the fact that you were with somebody who was at Stonewall really wasn't a whole lot of concern at that time?
No. I mean, I knew about Stonewall and had admiration, for the fact, but it didn't, really reach real far down in my consciousness at the time. Now, when I'm out, like I didn't march this year, but like last year and the year before when I marched, if I'm on the mic doing any kind of chanting when we get down walking by the knees, I always, mention Marsha.
Did Marsha ever talk about her life on the streets? That whole part of her life?
No, we really, I think superficial is kind of a negative way to put it, but it was pretty much just the talk that we would do would be pretty much geared about the show.
Right. You were just in the group and sort of focused on what was going on in the group.
Yeah. And Marsha was, she was just one of the people who just seemed to be attached to the group.
Mm-hmm.
So
whether she was performing or not,
whether she was performing or not, she was attached to the group.
Well, I'm sure you mentioned, I think I wrote down, you thought the woman's name was Linda who wrote...
Linda Stein, yeah.
Oh, Linda Stein?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. And you think it was like a master's or a doctoral dissertation or something?
It's a dissertation.
And you wouldn't happen to remember what university she was with, would you?
Was it NYU? It may have been NYU.
All right. Well, that's good. I would hope that Jimmy would have a copy of it if she actually...
I hope so,
But,
I hope so. I think she's still in New York.
Okay.
She was on Prince Street.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Write that down. Oops. So I'm gonna speak to your brother, hopefully, and get together with him this weekend. Then I'm going to try to get in touch with Jimmy Camicia.
Yeah.
Because he probably has all sorts of stuff.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. Him and Mark.
And Mark and
Mark, yeah, because Mark, he was the picture taker.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
And Mark is still in New York?
To my knowledge, he was on East 6th Street.
Do you happen to know if he was a member of ACT UP?
I think he was.
Because I seem to remember, with the glasses and everything, it doesn't really help, but I seem to remember a guy in ACT UP whose name was Mark Hannay.
I think he was. I think he was an ACT UP, definitely.
Okay. So you think that he goes pretty far back with the group that...
Mark?
Yeah.
I don't really know.
Okay.
I don't know how far Mark really goes back.
Okay. That's fine.
He and Jimmy are partners. But
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think he's relatively new. But I mean, the group goes back like 25 years.
Right. And hopefully, Jimmy goes back to the beginning, obviously.
Yeah.
So hopefully I can get even another person that was around at the time.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Is there anything else?
I can't think of anything.
Okay.
Like I said, I hate to have dragged you here for just a little bit.
This is all helpful because I'm going to try to do, what I'm doing is I'm going to do recorded interviews with anybody I can find at Marcia. Mm-hmm. I'm going to try and put it together hopefully as a book.
Yeah.
But even if that doesn't happen, what I will do is I will take all the tapes and all the research and I will put it into an archive so that in the future someone who's doing research will be able to get all this information. So, what you've provided is important for me. So, all right. Hopefully my tape recorder works.